Hi, this is Jack Westman for ESEAnews.com here in Jönköping, or Jönköping, in Sweden, with Team Dynamic. It's PEX and adreN. First of all, guys, welcome to Sweden. This is the first time you've been in Europe since Paris last year, right? The ESWC 2011. A little birdie tells me you had a bit of a nightmare getting here, right? And with your hotel room. How was the trip overall?
Oh man, the trip was very long. From my house to the hotel, it took exactly 36 hours to get there. So.
You had a hotel room booked in advance.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. So.
Everything was planned.
No, but for this event, we went like YOLO. We bought our planes. We were flights like one day before the event, and when we went out in Sweden, we said, all right, let's look for a hotel, and we're just doing it like the boss way. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. At least we're here, and that's the most important thing.
Didn't freeze to death in Sweden?
Yeah. No.
It's actually colder in Montreal.
Yeah, it's true. It's colder in Montreal, so used to that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, further north, right? Okay. So ESWC 2011. This time, the last time you were in over here in Europe, you placed 4th, right, behind Very Games, CK, RAS, and your fellow Americans at the time, Czech 6. How do you feel coming into this tournament against? Well, different scene, isn't it? I mean, you've got 1.6 players in this time. Teams like NIP, hybrid teams that you never saw this time last year. Do you feel you can perform similarly as to the way you did in Paris last year? Better? Like, how are you expecting to match up against some of these teams?
Well, we definitely want to perform better than we did last time. It's the way we think. We know we're a team who can win. We won in the past. And every time we enter a tournament, we go with the mentality that we just want to first place and we want to beat everyone. We know we can do it. I think compared to last year, the thing is now we got 2 scenes combined together. So I think the competition is harder. The teams are better. The people. It's a new game and people are putting like a lot of time into it. We have a new roster, but at least we were able to play one LAN last week. Yeah. And we're just looking to win and then play our game.
To add? Okay, right. Well, I'll come to you straight first with this next question. Yeah, you said you had ESEA LAN last week. Last week? Yeah, last week. Yeah. Lost to Area 51 in the grand final, as you did in the ESWC qualifier at PAX Prime, right? You took them slightly closer at PAX. You lost in 2 straight maps. In ESEA, you took one from them. I mean, it must be weird because you were at the top of the American scene for so long, and all of a sudden, Area 51 are putting up a real fight every event. Does it kind of hurt your confidence when you come to Europe, knowing that maybe we're not going to represent America as best as we used to? Does anything like that weigh in your mind at all? Or?
I mean, maybe a little bit, but we just got to put it behind us because we know we can be the best. So that's what we got to show here. At ESEA, I mean, we started off really slow. I mean, we both played in 1.6 and Source. Our new pickups played 1.6. We played Source, and we played all day. So the first match or the first BO3, we played really sloppy, and we really hurt ourselves because we would have had a chance to beat Area 51 twice. And instead, we only had one chance, and with a map like Dust 1, it hurt our confidence, and yeah, so we're confident.
Okay, right. Okay, so obviously having the LAN in advance of flying out was pretty good preparation, right? Especially with the new roster, you had a chance to meet each other properly, I guess, and sort strats out in a LAN environment. But preparing for European teams is very different. How have you kind of prepared for this event? I know on the walk over to the interview you're saying a little bit questionable, right? But what kind of preparation have you been doing in anticipation of teams like NIP and Very Games, who have always historically posed a threat to you guys?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like we watched a little bit of demos, but we've never been that team that, like analyze the demos, take some notes, and whenever like we play NIP, we know like they're gonna do that against us, and that's maybe something that like VG, I know they do it so much. Like last year when we played them, like they exactly knew what we were doing and stuff. So the thing is, we like to play the game, but we don't really enjoy, after so many years, I guess really analyzing and anti-stratting. We're not the kind of team that anti-strat people. We're the kind of team who works and we want to do our job, hit our shots, and do our strats. We prepared as much as we can with the new roster. we practice, we dry run a little bit our strats, work on new strats, make sure our pistols are tight, because we know in this game pistols are so crucial, especially on maps like D, Nuke, and Train. And we're looking to play our game, and that's how we always did.
Okay. Right, I'm going to come to you again, Eric. Okay, so for like the last 2-3 years, you guys had a really stable roster, right? Up until Legend retiring. And now all of a sudden, Legend left this time last year. You had Volcano in for Source, then he was out again, semi-retired, but not really because he was back last week. Then you lost Anger. Then you tried Freakazoid. That kind of worked for one event. Now you've got Swag and Kiko. The roster has gone from being like one of the most stable in America to all of a sudden you're all over the place. Are you settled now, or is anything going to change? Is anything likely to change again in the future? Are you just going to keep chopping and changing until something works?
Currently, there's no plans to change. Right. I mean, just our roster issue has been just because I don't think we tried integrating Freakazoid enough. We didn't practice hard enough with him. We probably could have made him into the 5th we needed, but we really didn't put the time in for him to fit. Brax and Kiko, we decided to pick them up just because we thought they were fresh and they'd give us that determination that we needed, that fire that we needed to actually play again, because we've been playing forever.
Are they having that effect?
Sort of, yeah. We play as much as we can, but it's still hard to have that fire after playing so many years. So we plan on having this roster for as long as we can.
Right. Okay. And yeah, you mentioned earlier that Swag and Kiko are both from a 1.6 background, whereas the rest of you are primarily Source for a long time. What does that kind of 1.6 infusion bring to the team? Because NIP have been doing it successfully. There are a ton of other teams that have Area 51 as well. They've been a hybrid. What kind of knowledge do the 1.6 players bring to the team, and what can you learn from one another?
Do you have anything in mind that they brought to the team? I don't know, like Swag and Kiko are amazing players, but the thing is that they are pretty quiet. We were maybe expecting from them to, maybe just bring more stuff into maybe practices, like something that worked pretty well in their past team, but they didn't really do that. There are more players that listen, and it's more our job. It's our roles to bring stuff to practice, and I don't know. As their play style, they're just really amazing players. They play really good, and like Eric was saying, something after so long is the fire. Like sometimes after so long, like the fire, that intensity, that the desire to win, it's really important. And with our old roster, it seems like people get late for practice, and you start late, waste some time, and we get older. Time is precious, time is money, and then everything was falling apart. So at least these two guys, they play so much. They want us to play. They want to play. So if they're like, let's play, then okay, we'll play. They're dedicated, and that's what we needed, more dedication.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. Right, coming at you again, Eric. You guys have literally just come back from a meeting with Valve, talking about, giving them feedback on the game, changes that you'd like to see made in Global Offensive. So just jumping track for a second. How do you feel about Global Offensive at the moment? What were kind of some of the key themes you raised with Valve about what you'd like to see changed? How do you feel about the Molotovs that were nerfed just before ESEA LAN? What are your thoughts on the future of Global Offensive?
It's nice that Valve is really into the community right now, talking to the players, doing interviews and stuff like that. So that's really helpful to make the game be competitive as it can, and make the scene as big as it can. So that's really nice of them to do that. And I mean, the updates have been awesome lately. Like, they fixed the scope sound that you could hear from across the map. The smokes are better. You can't one-way them anymore. The Molotovs are a lot better. They're way too overpowered, so this kind of toned them down. Even though a smoke putting out a Molotov is kind of like, what? But I think it's still for the best. Yeah. So, I mean, what we raised to Valve was what to fix. I mean, we just brought up maybe some op things, a little, I don't know, not enough money getting from the op, since we like to run 2 ops. So, I mean, little things. There's not much. Goes pretty good right now, and it's just got to be the scene that makes it as big as it can be.
Yeah. Okay. I'm conscious that you want to get back and stalk very games, so just one last question. In your group, you have N Faculty, a Nexus, and a BYOC team, who I'm not sure who it is at the moment.
Lemon Dogs.
Lemon Dogs, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, Lemon Dogs. Yeah.
So, okay, so in your group, who do you expect to pose kind of the biggest challenge to you guys? And faculty had a bit of a surprise showing in Paris. They finished 4th. Nobody really expected them to. Nexus, obviously, kind of a mixed bag. Who are your big threats in the group stage, and should you qualify going forward through the tournament?
I think Nexus will probably be our toughest, even though they didn't do that well at ESWC, and N Faculty did. But N Faculty was actually a backup team for ESWC, I believe, and they came out pretty strong. But I think they're kind of inconsistent just because of that. So I think Nexus will be more consistent and might put up a better fight for us. And I guess Lemon Dogs is a pretty good team. I don't know much about them, but they made it out of the BYOC, so we can't underestimate anyone. So yeah, you can talk about that.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I mean, the teams and faculty, like, I don't know, I read stuff on hltv.org. Maybe I don't anti-strat people, but I do that. And Lurpis said that they can only win on the Inferno, basically. The Inferno is one of our best maps, but I guess it will be smart still to not give them a chance and veto that map. So we'll see how we go on the feeling right there. Annexus, they look pretty strong, and you know, about the BYOC team, if they made it out of it, it means they can pull up the fight, you know.
Okay.
So that's it.
Afterwards. Sure.
And afterwards?
Is that what you said? Well, yeah, after the group stage.
After the group stage, I'm not sure how the format's gonna work. Like I think you told me yesterday it's gonna be, it's kind of random. I never like random stuff, but I mean, if it has to work that way. So, I mean, we're still going to, even if it's random, if you get first seed or second seed in your group, we're still going to aim to get first seed and do our best. And afterward, I mean, obviously on paper, from what we've seen from the past, there's NIP that is the biggest threat, and then VG. And it seems like all the other teams are fighting for the rest. But, I mean, we've played VG so much in the past. Oh, so much. I mean, we played them twice. We played them at DSRAC and SWC, and I mean, it would be like a great feeling to beat them and not lose for the 3rd time. And NIP, we never face them, so it'll be the first time if we do.
Okay, sure.
Looking towards it for sure.
Yeah, no, sounds good. Right, guys, I will let you get back. I'll let you get back to it. Shout outs, lastly but not least.
Yeah. So, thanks to Plantronics, GameCon, Razer, and BenQ for the amazing gear and support. Thanks to Team Dynamic and our amazing manager, Johnny 5. So, and thanks for everybody in the community who's supporting us. Kurz got knocked out yesterday, so we're the only hope for NA. So, a lot of pressure? It's no extra pressure, but it's just like...
Too cool.
Yeah, no pressure after so long, you know. We just but yeah, so I hope there's a lot of people like supporting us and watching the games, because more people watch the games, the better it is for everybody. So thank you.
Cool. Right, guys, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure as always, and good luck. I think you start in like an hour, right? Yeah. Have fun.
Thanks.
ESEAnews.com. Stay tuned.